Bricktopian.
Hello everyone, it's Bricktopian here and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at a Lego Microscale Windmill build that I created. It uses a 16 by 16 plate for the base, and the windmill itself has a 6 by 6 round footprint. To create all of the wheat in the wheat field that surrounds it, I have used a bunch of light tan and dark tan tooth elements, as well as a few carrot stem elements in reddish brown mixed in. There are also a few of the smaller stem elements that allow connection points for free flowers. I've used some of those. There are some of those in the reddish brown and also in the light tan. The walkway out the front mixes in olive green, it mixes in reddish brown, it mixes in dark tan, it mixes in medium nougat, and it mixes in dark brown. The windmill itself can actually spin by flicking the blades like this, and also that is connected using a Technic pin. The blades themselves actually have a nice detail. I know I'm saying blades and they are technically called sails, but I think of them as being blades. But yes, they use black support underneath, including regular clipped-on elements or pieces with bars on. They are modified plates, and then there's these curved modified plates at the end that have the holes in. They're like curved on the ends. And then on top of that, I've used the grill tiles, 1 by 2 of those, in a mixture of reddish brown and also the dark orange to represent rusted or worn panels on some of the pieces. There is also a pathway that leads up to the door of the windmill here. I've created a curve shape using these robot arms to make a fence around the edge. I've also added some secret little Easter egg details in the build, such as there are some coins here that could represent treasure found buried in the field, or it could represent payment for something that the windmill produces, such as flour. And you can see little white elements here of printed, sorry, not printed, but square 1 by 1 tiles there to represent bags of flour, and they are just slowly going off the path. There's also one back here as well, and then you also can see there are some nice little trans red details here. These are actually meant to be ambiguous of what they are, but they can either be blood, because this is a little bit of a haunted, creepy vibe, or they can represent magic, because my whole storytelling is that this is sort of a supernatural place with special like secrets and things. But it could be blood because I can't say the word canonically. I cannot say the word, I don't know why, but you know what I mean. Basically, this could be a windmill that also doesn't just make wheat, it could grind up other things like bodies. That's like the idea of the blood idea. And then on the back you've got this nice little ladder, which is a 1 by 4 element that has like the slats in it. I don't know what you call it. It's like a gear plate. So I think it's called a gear plate, and it's like actually technically a Technic plate, but yeah, I've used it as a ladder. You can also see even more vines, and on the back of the windmill you get this nice little pattern that actually looks a bit like windmill sails. There's also a small window here using just a 1 by 2 Technic brick. On the top you can see the what's it called, the rear vane or whatever you call it. I don't know what you call it. It's basically just a rear sail, rear vane. It helps adjust the direction that the windmill's facing on the top. I use that. I just used like one of those 1 by 1 bricks that's modified. It looks like a rocket shape. It's sort of, I don't even know what the actual piece is called, but. And then there's some other details, such as the door, which uses a 1 by 2 ingot tile in reddish brown. There's also a window here that matches the one on the back. There is also a 1 by 2 Technic brick. Above the door as well, there's a little lintel using a 1 by 2 modified tile that just like is sat on a snot brick, so it pushes it out a bit. And then there's some other things mixed in, like you can see these little small elements here, which are often used to represent sirens on top of vehicles, and I've just used them in dark tan. There's also a single leaf in olive green over here. There's a Wolverine claw element here just to represent some more flattened wheat. The path itself is a very mixed design of different shaped tiles. So there's like curved ones, there's like wedge ones, just to give it that really rustic vibe. And I think that works really well. I managed to get the windmill a really nice curved shape using loads and loads of snot bricks on their sides or facing forwards, different directions, and it just works out really well. I used a load of cheese slopes as well to get the bit higher up where it tapers in, and then the further down bit uses the 1x2 sloped tiles. The actual top is completely round using one of those 4x4 round bricks that I've got the holes in, and therefore I could add Technic pins into them to add even more texture. The very top uses a 2x2 dome brick, which obviously that and this bit is all dark grey. But I tried to add in some wear and tear, so I've used some olive green elements mixed in here and there, as well as some dark tan elements mixed in, and the reddish brown. And this little sort of disc shaped detail here is actually in the dark brown, so there's quite a few colours. You can see I've secured the back of the sails using transparent elements, including those pieces that are called shoe elements. I don't know why they call them that, I still have no idea, but they're like 2x2 round tile things, plates, inverted plates, and I've used them in transparent. You can also see a better look of how I've connected these actual cell supports to the main core of the build. So there's quite a lot going on here really, and it didn't take me that long to make though, believe it or not. But it did require quite a lot of focus to actually get it how I want though. But I think the result has turned out so well. And there's one other thing that I haven't shown you yet, and I don't know if I can do it with one hand, so I may have to pause 1 second. I also had to shut the light out a bit to see, but you can see I've actually put a light brick in there. It's not much detail because this is a very small window, but you can actually see a bit of light coming through. And also you can see light coming through the cracks in the build. Normally that would be a flaw, but I actually don't mind it because of the whole run-down old vibe of this. I feel like having some cracks in the build actually makes it look good with the light coming through. But basically it's quite easy to do that. All you do is you twist this and it turns it on and off. Not the whole thing, sorry, just the dome, but I can't really do it with one hand. But yeah, if you twist the dome, it's got a light brick in there. And it's basically the same piece as what I've used in other builds, such as my Microscale church that I've done. And basically it's just a 2x2 cylinder or round brick, and it basically twists to turn it on, and it's a custom element. I don't really like using custom Lego, but I made an exception for this one piece. But it basically, I got it off eBay from a seller called Brick Bums, and they had the pieces. I wouldn't mind swapping it for a orange one, but I haven't got one at the moment. But you can, it only just shows up a little bit, but it's just enough to add a bit of visual interest. But yeah, I'm pretty much done with this. I'm really happy with it overall. I think it looks really good. It's turned out even better than I was hoping it would. I wouldn't mind maybe upgrading this path along the front, making it slightly different. But overall, I think this has turned out really well, and I'm honestly really happy with it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more videos, and see you again in the next one. Goodbye.